Hello students, this is kidney. We have two kidneys in our body, right and left. The kidney, as you know, is a bean-shaped organ. So it is situated in our body from T11 to L3 level of vertebra. T11, L3. You know, the kidney contains a gland in the superiormost region. It is called suprarenal or adrenal gland. Suprarenal or adrenal gland. We have in kidney two poles, two surfaces, two borders. The two poles are upper pole and lower pole, two surfaces, anterior surface and posterior surface, two border, lateral border and medial border. The kidney is situated in lumbar area, epigastric area, hypogastric area and umbilical. You can see in the medial most region we have something called hilum. The hilum contains renal vein, renal artery and pelvis, which continues as the ureter, as you can see below. If we discuss from anterior to posterior side, the anterior most structure seen in the hilum is renal vein, which you can see, which has a wide lumen and thin walls. It is the most anterior structure in the hilum of the kidney. As you can see, the medial most structure is hilum. It contains in the most anteriorly renal vein, which you can see it has a large lumen and thin wall. The walls are thin, you can see, and the lumen area is large. After that we have renal artery, which has small lumen and thick walls. The lumen is small and the walls are thick, you can see here, you can see this. Okay, after that in the posterior most side we have this, it is called ureter. It goes below from the hilum of the kidney towards the bladder. As you can see, the concave part is seen in the medial area and the convex part is seen in the lateral area. Now let us discuss about the anterior relationship of the kidney. Anterior relation of the kidney. As you can see, this is anterior aspect, because in the hilum we see the vein is situated most anteriorly and the posteriorly we have the ureter situated. So anteriorly we have the suprarenal gland. Okay. After that, in the upper lateral part we have the attachment, the relation with the liver over here in the upper lateral part. In the medial most part we have relation with the duodenum. The duodenum is related with the medial most part of the kidney. After that, inferior-lateral side we have colic relation with the kidney, and as we come inferior-medially, the area is related to the jejunum of the. Now let us discuss the anterior relationship of the left kidney. As you can see this, so in the superior most part, as you know, there is suprarenal gland. Okay, so after suprarenal gland, in the superior lateral part we have splenic relation with the kidney. Spleen is related with the kidney. Superior medial part we have gastric compression here, and in the middle most part you can see a superior, inferior and the middle most part we have pancreatic compression, and in the lateral, inferior lateral part we have colic relation, and as we go inferior medially we have jejunal relation. Now let us see overall. Superior most part we have suprarenal gland. After that Superolaterally, we have splenic dilation. In the superiormedially, we have gastric impression over here, and in the middlemost part of the kidney, we have pancreatic impression, and inferiorlaterally, we have colic relation, and as we go inferiormedially, we have jejunal relation in the anterior aspect of the. Let us discuss about the posterior relationship of the right kidney. As you can see, this is anterior, and we rotate, it is the posterior aspect of the right kidney. As you can see here, in the superiormost part, we have 12th rib. We have 12th rib over here. After that, there is diaphragm in the posterior part of the right kidney. Then we have medial arcuate ligament and lateral arcuate ligament. You see medially the medial arcuate ligament and then lateral arcuate ligament. As we go below from the ligaments, the medial arcuate and lateral arcuate ligament, we have three muscles which are related with the posterior aspect of the kidney. In the medial most region, we have a muscle named psoas major. In the area, we have a muscle quadratus lumborum, and in the lateral most area, we have a muscle transverse abdominis. Psoas major, quadratus lumborum, and transverse abdominis. We have three structures related in the posterior aspect of the kidney, which are below the lateral arcuate ligament, subcostal artery, subcostal nerve, and subcostal vein. As you know, we have three muscles in the posterior relation of the kidney. In the middlemost, you know, the psoas major and quadratus lumborum. We have two nerves passing from here, ilioinguinal and iliohypogastric nerve, which is passing between the psoas major and quadratus lumborum muscle. Let us discuss about the coverings of the kidney. If we talk from inwards to outwards, we have renal capsule. After that, we have perinephric fat. After that, we have a fascia which is called fascia of Geroda. After that, we have paranephric fat. We have fascia of Geroda, which is covering the kidney. The anterior part of the fascia of Geroda is known as Toll's area or Toll's fascia. In the posterior part, which is known as the Zuckerkandl area. Zuckerkandl area and Toll's area. They both go upwards and entangle the suprarenal gland, and then they attach with the phrenic fascia of the diaphragm. You know, the diaphragm is situated above the kidney, so the Zuckerkandl and Toll's, they both attach at the phrenic fascia of the diaphragm. The anterior fascia of the fascia of Geroda, which is called as Toll's area, Toll's fascia, which goes inferiorly and attaches with the extraperitoneal connective tissue. The anterior layer, Toll's, which is going inferiorly and attaches with the extraperitoneal connective tissue, and the posterior layer, which was known as the Zuckerkandl fascia, it goes below and joins with the fascia iliaca. Okay. Up superiorly, it was attaching with the phrenic fascia of the diaphragm, and inferiorly, it is getting attached. The anterior one is getting attached with the extraperitoneal connective tissue, and the posterior one is getting attached with the fascia iliaca. As you knew, in the anterior layer of the fascia of Geroda and the posterior layer of the fascia of Geroda and the kidney, in between both of them, there is perinephric fat present. The perinephric fat is present in between the anterior layer of fascia of Geroda and kidney and the posterior layer of the fascia of Geroda and kidney. In between them, there is perinephric fat is present. You know, the arteries supplying the kidney are renal arteries, which are getting bifurcated into anterior and posterior renal artery. The anterior renal artery further divides into four parts: apical segment, apical part supplying apical segment, upper part supplying upper segment, middle part supplying middle segment, and lower part supplying lower segment. And the posterior division of the renal artery supplies the posterior segment which is situated medially 2/3 of the kidney. Medially 2/3 of the kidney. Now, you know the segments which were present in the anterior side are also present in the lateral side of the posterior part. You know, apical, upper, middle and lower. So here also, you know, posterior side we have the apical, it is here, the upper it is here, middle it is here and lower the fully is here. Then what is different here? Here we have posterior division of the renal artery which supplies the posterior segment of the kidney. Posterior segment is situated here. Okay, it is getting supplied by the posterior part of the renal artery. Now, to differentiate between the anterior structure which were upper and middle, we have a line called as Broddel's line. The Brodel line is situated here in the middle 2/3 and lateral 1/3 of the posterior aspect of the kidney. The middle 2/3 and lateral 1/3 we have Broddel's line. It is a vascular line. Here there is no blood supply over here in the Broddel's line. Now let us see the coronal section of the kidney. You can see the coronal section of the kidney. Here the most lateral part of the coronal section of the kidney is known as cortex, okay, and the medialmost structure is called medulla. Cortex and medulla. As you can see, medially to the cortex we have some structures which are triangular in shape or pyramidal in shape. These are called as pyramids, which are situated in the medulla. These are called as pyramids. Okay, the renal pyramids open into the collecting ducts. The collecting ducts open into the renal papilla. The renal papilla opens into the minor calyces. The minor calyces open into the major calyces, and the major calyces enter into the renal pelvis, which brings the filtered part of the blood into the ureter and the bladder and thereafter. So this is the coronal section of the kidney. You can see here the cortex and the medulla, pyramids, collecting duct, the minor calyces and the major calyces, which brings the filtered part of the blood towards the ureter.